There are moments when heaven must rip away the veil, not to harm you, but to show you the full truth that has been kept from your eyes for far too long. And today, Archangel Michael has been sent to deliver a message so sacred, so painful, and yet so necessary for your freedom that the angels themselves have been weeping in silence, praying that your soul will be strong enough to receive what is about to be revealed. You have lived your life carrying burdens that did not begin with you, holding on to memories and relationships that were tied to illusions carefully wrapped in affection. But behind that illusion was a truth so heavy that heaven could not allow it to remain hidden any longer. Not when your destiny is on the line, not when your calling is being delayed, not when your very light is being dimmed by a connection or pattern or person whose true intentions were never as pure as you believed. Archangel Michael is standing behind you now, his sword of divine truth glowing in the spirit realm, as he prepares to uncover the layers of betrayal, generational wounds, and spiritual manipulation that were orchestrated not by random misfortune, but by energies and forces that feared what would happen if you stepped fully into your divine power. There is someone you loved, perhaps still love, who presented themselves as your safe place, your companion, your family, your home. And yet, hidden behind their words, their silence, their choices, was a darker intention, one they themselves may not even fully understand because it did not originate with them. It was passed down, inherited through soul contracts and ancestral karma that remained unbroken. And you, being the chosen one in your bloodline, were sent to be the breaker of these chains. But before chains can be broken, they must be seen for what they are. And Michael is telling you this now with a voice that trembles not with fear, but with divine sorrow. Someone you have trusted has never truly been aligned with your highest good. They may have loved you, yes, but their love was tainted by control, guilt, jealousy, fear, or expectations that were never yours to carry. They tried to shape your destiny into something more manageable, something that would keep you close, small, or obedient. Not because they hated you, but because they were terrified of losing the light they saw in you, a light that threatened to outshine their own comfort zone. This person may still be in your life, or perhaps they left in a storm of confusion and heartbreak, and you've been asking heaven why it hurt so much, why it felt like losing a part of yourself. And the answer is this: what you lost was not a soulmate, not a divine partner, not even a best friend in the spiritual sense. What you lost was an attachment to a version of you that had not yet awakened to the full force of your divine identity. Archangel Michael says you were not abandoned, you were protected. That closed door you keep staring at was sealed by heaven itself. That message they never sent, that apology you never received, was a silence permitted by God to ensure your forward movement. If they had come back, you would have stayed. If they had explained, you would have forgiven too soon. If they had been honest, you would have held on longer, delaying your assignment, delaying the miracles that are now scheduled to arrive in your life with divine precision. But now that your heart is cracked open, now that your tears have watered the soil of your destiny, Michael whispers that something new is coming. But first, the full truth must be revealed. And here it is. They knew. On some level, whether consciously or unconsciously, they knew that staying close to you would mean witnessing your rise. And they could not bear it. They feared being left behind, overshadowed, forgotten. And so instead of blessing your wings, they clipped them. Instead of celebrating your voice, they silenced it. Instead of protecting your purpose, they subtly poisoned it with doubts, distractions, and false intimacy. This is not to demonize them, Michael says, but to free you. Because the final piece of the spiritual chain around your soul is the lie you've been telling yourself, that if they had stayed, everything would be better. No, beloved. If they had stayed, you would have stayed asleep. But now you are waking up, and the heartbreak you feel is not just grief, it is resurrection. It is your soul stepping back into the light it was born to shine, without apology, without hesitation, without delay. This is only the beginning. And Michael is not finished yet. As the echoes of this revelation settle into the depths of your being, Archangel Michael commands you to prepare for a deeper unveiling. For the hidden truth that breaks your heart is only the beginning of the divine liberation your soul desperately needs. And it is within this divine unfolding that you will understand why every tear shed, every moment of loneliness, and every prayer whispered in the silence of the night has been heard and cherished in the heavens. Know this, beloved, your journey has been sanctified by God's plan, crafted meticulously before your soul even chose to descend into this earthly realm. And now, as the walls of deception crumble, you will glimpse the magnitude of what you have been carrying, the inherited wounds from generations before you who also walked paths of betrayal, abandonment, and spiritual warfare. And it is in your blood, your very DNA, that the promise of restoration has been written. For you are the one destined to break curses, to dismantle old patterns, and to bring forth healing where darkness once reigned. Yet, the pain you feel is not to keep you bound, but to awaken the warrior within, the fierce protector of truth who refuses to accept anything less than the purest form of love and freedom for their soul. The weight of carrying someone else's secret pain, the burden of holding on to memories not truly yours, has kept your spirit tethered to a reality that no longer serves the divine blueprint of your life. Michael's sword of light is now piercing through every veil of illusion, every false hope, every subtle lie that whispered you must forgive and forget before the truth was even spoken. He commands you now to refuse false peace, to reject comfort that comes at the cost of your authenticity, because true peace comes only when you embrace the whole truth, no matter how shattering it may be. This person, whose presence has haunted your nights and clouded your days, was never the one to heal your soul, but rather the one whose shadows blocked your light from shining fully. And while love can be complicated, divine love is not a prison, it is freedom. And freedom demands honesty, no matter the cost. You have been conditioned to hide your pain, to mask your wounds, to pretend that the heartbreak you carry is a weakness. But Michael wants you to know that your vulnerability is your strength, your scars are your badges of honor, and your willingness to confront this hidden truth is what will birth your resurrection. There is a spiritual battle raging for your heart and mind, a fierce struggle between the remnants of old attachments and the new life that awaits your acceptance of truth. This battle is not visible to the naked eye, but you feel it in the restless nights, in the sudden waves of emotion, in the inexplicable fears and doubts that surface just when you feel ready to move forward. Archangel Michael is leading the charge against every demonic force, every dark spirit, every seed of deception planted to keep you chained to false hope. He calls upon you now to join him, to raise your spiritual sword alongside his, to declare war on the lies, and to stand unwavering in your commitment to yourself and to the divine will that sent you here. You're not alone. The armies of heaven surround you, but they need your consent, your courage, your readiness to break free from the invisible chains and to claim your birthright. And this is why the truth must be known fully now, because only when the light shines on every shadow can you step into the fullness of your power, the fullness of your purpose, and the fullness of your joy. Michael reveals that this hidden truth also holds a blessing, a secret door opening to a path you could never have imagined, a path that will lead you to relationships, opportunities, and spiritual gifts that were never possible as long as you were bound to old patterns and false attachments. The heartbreak you feel is the chrysalis from which your true self will emerge, stronger, wiser, and more radiant than ever before. It is the breaking of the old you, so the new you can be born in divine timing. You must grieve deeply, but you must also rise fiercely. For the pain is temporary, but the freedom is eternal. And as the veil lifts, Archangel Michael's voice grows stronger, urging you to listen carefully to the whispers of your soul, for they carry the keys to unlocking your destiny. No more hiding, no more pretending, no more living half a life. The time has come to step fully into the warrior of light you were created to be. You are the breaker of chains, the light bringer in darkness, the chosen one who will rewrite the legacy of your bloodline. And this revelation, though it may shatter your heart, is the sacred gift that will finally set you free. Hold onto this truth with all your might, for it is the foundation upon which your new life will be built. Archangel Michael stands with you, sword raised, shield ready, ready to fight by your side as you walk boldly into the future prepared for you by divine decree. There is no turning back now. The past is behind you. The present demands your courage, and the future is waiting for your triumphant return to the light. The journey you are on, beloved soul, is not for the faint of heart. For the unveiling of such profound truth is a divine test designed not to punish, but to prepare you for the fullness of your spiritual inheritance. Archangel Michael reminds you that every struggle you have faced, every sleepless night filled with tears and questions, has been a necessary passage through the refining fire of your spirit. And though the weight of the hidden truth may feel unbearable now, it is the crucible from which your true power will emerge, stronger and purer than ever before. This is the sacred dismantling of old beliefs, false identities, and emotional chains that no longer serve your highest good. It is a purifying process that clears the way for your soul's light to shine with unyielding brilliance. A light so fierce that it cannot be dimmed by past betrayals or the shadows of ancestral curses that have long hung over your family line. The battle you are engaged in is multidimensional, waged simultaneously in your mind, in your heart, and within the unseen spiritual realms. And it is a war for your freedom, your peace, and ultimately, your destiny. Archangel Michael's sword of truth cuts through every lie you have been told about your worthiness, your purpose, and your capacity to love without fear. He demands that you reject the deceptive narratives that whisper you are broken beyond repair, that your heart is too fragile to heal, or that the wounds inflicted upon you define who you are. This is not the divine reality. You are infinitely more than your pain, more than the scars left by those who failed to honor your light. You are a radiant child of God, created with a purpose so grand it transcends the limitations of this earthly experience. Yet, to step fully into this destiny, you must first confront the darkest parts of your story, the betrayals, the secrets, the hidden sins of others that have unfairly burdened your soul. Michael urges you to face these with bravery and grace, not to succumb to despair, but to embrace the healing that comes with acknowledging truth in its rawest form. Only by naming the pain can you begin to release it. This process is painful, yes, but it is also deeply liberating, for each revelation tears down another barrier between you and your authentic self. As you let go of illusions and half-truths, you create space for divine restoration and spiritual breakthroughs that have been waiting for this moment your entire life. Michael reminds you that you're not walking this path alone. He stands as your eternal protector and guide, wielding the flaming sword of justice and mercy to shield you from harm and to strike down every enemy of your soul's progress. The angels are aligning, the heavens are shifting in your favor, and the spiritual forces that once held you captive are now being dismantled with divine authority. This is the cosmic overturning of your life, a sacred reset that will bring healing not only to you, but to your lineage, to your community, and to all whose lives intersect with yours. The hidden truth you now carry is both a burden and a blessing, an awakening that will forever change how you perceive yourself and your purpose in the universe. It will compel you to release toxic attachments, forgive without forgetting, and rebuild your life on foundations of truth, faith, and unwavering hope. Your heart will break in the process, but from those broken pieces will rise a new heart, one fortified with divine courage, wisdom, and boundless love. This new heart will lead you to relationships that honor your soul, to opportunities that align with your divine mission, and to a peace that surpasses all understanding. You will find that what once felt like punishment was actually the loving hand of God preparing you for an extraordinary destiny. Do not fear the revelations to come, for they are the keys to your freedom. Archangel Michael's voice echoes in your spirit now. Rise, beloved warrior. Rise from the ashes of your old life. Embrace the hidden truth that breaks your heart, for it will also set you free. The battle is fierce, but victory is yours. Stand firm in faith, hold fast to love, and step boldly into the new life awaiting your courageous soul. The heavens are watching as you take these next steps, and they rejoice in your unfolding transformation. This is not the end of your story, but the glorious beginning of a chapter written by divine hands, one where you are free, whole, and radiant in your God-given power. Trust the process, trust the timing, and trust the angels who fight alongside you. Your liberation is imminent. Your breakthrough is unstoppable. And your true life, the one promised by God before time began, is ready to be claimed. Hold on to this truth with every fiber of your being and prepare to soar higher than ever before. For the hidden truth, though it breaks your heart, is the very thing that will set your soul free and open the door to a life filled with unimaginable blessings, peace, and divine purpose. As you stand on the precipice of this monumental awakening, Archangel Michael's unwavering presence surrounds you like a shield of radiant light, fortifying your spirit against the lingering doubts and fears that seek to pull you back into old cycles of pain and confusion. This moment you have arrived at, fraught with heartache and yet bursting with divine promise, is the culmination of every trial, every tear shed in secret, every prayer whispered in the silence of your soul. The hidden truth you have uncovered, though it has shattered illusions and peeled back the layers of comfort you once clung to, is in truth a sacred gift handed down from the heavens, a key to unlocking the next phase of your spiritual evolution and the abundant life God has destined for you. Michael's voice rings clear and fierce, urging you to embrace this revelation fully, not with resignation, but with a warrior's heart and a child's innocence, for only in such a posture can true healing and freedom take root. You must understand that what feels like loss is often the soil from which new life springs. What seems like brokenness is actually the divine pruning necessary for your soul's flourishing. The chains that bound you, the toxic patterns, the generational curses, the betrayals that once seemed insurmountable, are dissolving now in the light of this heavenly truth. And though the process may stretch your spirit to its limits, it is also infusing you with strength, clarity, and purpose beyond anything you have ever imagined. Michael reminds you that forgiveness, both of yourself and others, is not a concession, but a powerful act of spiritual sovereignty that reclaims your power and restores your peace. This forgiveness is not about condoning past wrongs, but about releasing their hold over your heart so that you can move forward unencumbered and free. In this sacred act, you align yourself with God's boundless mercy and open the floodgates for miracles to manifest in your life. The spiritual battle that raged unseen over your soul is now turning decisively in your favor, and the legions of angels, led by Michael himself, stand ready to usher you into a new reality where your destiny is no longer dictated by fear or pain, but by divine love and radiant purpose. You are being called to rise as a beacon of hope and healing, a living testament to the power of God's grace to transform even the deepest wounds into sources of light and strength. This transformation will ripple outward, impacting not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. your family, and your community, breaking cycles of suffering and planting seeds of redemption and renewal. Archangel Michael's sword, once a symbol of battle, now becomes a symbol of victory, cutting through every obstacle that dares to stand between you and your true path. You are invited to walk forward with confidence, knowing that the heavens are actively working on your behalf, orchestrating circumstances, people, and opportunities to align perfectly with your highest good. The promise is clear. Your life will be a testament to divine resilience, a story of how the greatest heartbreaks can birth the most profound freedom. This is your sacred calling, to live boldly, love deeply, and shine your light fiercely. The hidden truth that once threatened to break your heart is now the very foundation upon which your new life is built. A life marked by peace that transcends understanding, joy that is not dependent on circumstances, and a love that mirrors the endless compassion of God. As you embrace this new chapter, hold fast to the knowledge that you are never alone. Michael and the heavenly hosts are with you every step, ready to guard, guide, and empower you. The battle has been fierce, the night has been long, but dawn is breaking. Step into the light of your liberation, claim your divine inheritance, and soar with the wings of angels into the glorious future that awaits you. Your heart may have been broken, but your spirit is unbreakable, and your life, forever transformed, will be a beacon to all who seek hope and healing in a world longing for the light of truth. Trust this process, trust the divine timing, and know beyond any doubt that you are deeply loved, profoundly chosen, and eternally free. The heavens rejoice in your rise. Embrace this sacred moment with an open heart and unwavering faith, for your greatest victory is at hand, and the life you were created to live is ready to unfold in all its glory.